and Mirage, I think, was the third one. That's going to be really fun. Just to see...
Mirage is the second map.
Oh,
sorry.
Mirage is the second. Well,
yeah.
it's really the same, I think. It's going to be fun to see the FaZe players with more freedom.
Yeah.
But also, at the same time, I think a lot of Brazilian teams fare pretty well on Mirage, so it should be a good matchup.
Yeah, again, I think on the T side, it is exactly how they want us to play it. Jankko swing wide, basically. If he dies, but they've got the skill to trade. And on a map such as Inferno, that's a big problem for the CTs. If they're trading that one kill and going 1-for-1, then you're going to have big problems, especially against FaZe Clan. So work to a T as far as FaZe Clan are concerned. I don't know if we saw many signs of life from Pain Gaming, but perhaps the desk can talk more about that after the break. They will see you very shortly.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Case. Big update and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.
Place your bets at Csgo.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games, and 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at Csgo.bet.
FaZe Clan survived the fires of Inferno, and they do manage to take the first win. Now, it wasn't the most convincing victory, but it's not really what's needed, right? They're down their usual squad. They've got Jankko, who didn't play bad. However, you can take the points on that one. He did actually perform to a decent level, but again, it's against Pain Gaming. And for them, they were trying. They were very aggressive. We saw them doing the pushes out there. Nico was getting shut down on top of Banana on CT side every time he pushed out, but obviously, he wouldn't normally just push out every single round like that.
No, and I think James Dog, the real one over there, said it really good. You know, it doesn't matter how they win, as long as FaZe wins, they can be happy. They have Jankko playing with them, Guardian coming in tomorrow, most likely, with the visa issue. So as long as they make sure to win this game, doesn't have to be in a nice fashion. The result is all that matters, and they gotta win here. As you said, Nico didn't have the best game. Jankko played fine, but overall, I don't want to take too much away from it. I don't want to go deep into it. As long as they win, it's fine.
You just want to look at the positives, right? Like, because one of the things you guys brought up before we got going with the matchup is the fact that these are the kind of games where if you want to build confidence, it's a great opportunity to do so. Obviously, Nico didn't have his classic, run around, get 30 kills kind of thing, but two players on the side of FaZe that have been having a bit of a rough time as of the last couple of months, and Olaf Meister and Rain, they pretty much had their way with them. So. Again, that's promising to see if it's this tiny thing that builds confidence and instills confidence in them, and then you'll take that any day of the week if that's what you need to make them feel secure about taking certain peaks or just believing in their own ability, you'll take that any day. So all those small things is obviously a benefit and a positive for Faze. Outside of that, there's no real reason to dive into the nitty gritty that Faze did, because there wasn't really anything more than what I think Dan and James both pointed out. The fact that, on T sides, they're going to send Yanko out to die first. And that's fine, because the rest of them are coming into trade. On CT sides, obviously, it's pretty cookie-cutter crossfire setups and just playing off of each other. Just very standard stuff.
We had some monstrous moments, though, from the man on your screen just a second ago with Big Uzera. He did pretty well, as we're looking at the highlights powered by CS Money, where you can trade all your unwanted skins at. But that man himself, he did impress a bit, right? He showed that he's got the individual ability to step up and challenge some of these Faze players. He's trying to clutch out rounds. It was a positive there for the Pain team.
Yeah, I think they can be proud of the performance they had in this game. I think, again, they don't expect to win this game, but they expect to at least make it a fight, and I think they did that. 16-12, by no means a bad scoreline. Few rounds here and there, it could have been much closer. So overall for Pain Gaming, it was a great experience, but again, it doesn't really matter. As long as Faze get the win, as long as they don't have to win convincingly, they don't have to win in any sort of fashion, they just need the W, and as long as they get that pink and get as many rounds as they want to. For them, obviously, it means something that they feel they had a chance in this game, and they feel they have a chance moving into the second map as well. And if anything, coming into the lower bracket after potentially losing this game, well, that's where that's where Pain Games tournament really starts, when they face some of the weaker teams, where they do have a realistic chance of actually taking them up for a battle.
Now, this is the thing, right, when you're looking at what Pain can do here. We're now going into Mirage, not a map they play. It's usually their Insta-band. This is a map that Faze can quite comfortably play, but haven't looked the best on, but they're playing a whole different caliber of teams, right? So I'm expecting a bit more of the same, but an even more convincing scoreline for Faze going into Mirage. But the thing here for Pain is you just focus on doing your best and then looking at, okay, we're going to get a weaker opponent, and now we've got to put it all into practice and all to work, right?
Yeah. I mean, you just look to grab positives out of it. Yeah, not a map they usually play. If you actually do decently for yourself, you feel like you have a good grasp of how to play. Maybe it's something that you can actually dare to leave open later on in the tournament. It might be something they've practiced leading up to this as well. We won't know until we see it. So again, there's nothing to lose for them. Only things to be gained if you have individuals playing well versus the guys, Faze's caliber. That's great. Take that with you going into further into the tournament. Just lots of stuff to build off of if you're Pain Gaming. So. This is like a bit of a bonus game. Usually you'd end up in a best-of-1 scenario at this stage of a tournament. So having a best-of-3 versus a team like Faze, great news.
Well, there's nothing else to say on the matter, right? We can only draw down for so long, given what we're being offered up here in this matchup. But it is time for us to go to another break. And when we come back, it will be Mirage. Will Faze take it 2-0, or could the Brazilian surprise? You guys will find out very soon.
Place your bets at Csgo.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at Csgo.bet.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Place your bets at Csgo.bet. Most popular esports titles. Deposit with convenient payment options. Cool mini games. And 24/7 support for players. Sign up now for the best esports bets at Csgo.bet.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Case. Big update and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.
Mirage, the second map of this best of 3 series. Are we going to see Yanko AWPing from CTA on Mirage? That is my question. Because you'd see Guardian do that, not all the time obviously, but we saw a few different people on AWP, Nico, Olafmeister and Yanko. I don't know if Yanko got an opportunity to get many frags with AWP, because there was that one round I remember where like the whole team got wiped out and he managed to save it. But
a couple defending B at one time.
Yeah.
Not too much action though, really. Yeah.
I wonder if he's getting some frags with AWP, I would expect some rotation here and there.
Yeah.
Within his comfort zone. Can't expect him to have the same play style as Guardian. He's got to play his own game. Well, it looks like Payne will be starting on the CT side.
It's funny though, because it reminds me actually when so it's also not as simple as, let's say, if you've got like a weaker player, just putting them on B per se, because in the professional scene maybe it can work that way, fine. But if you're not a pro or you're not used to playing the pro level and know like the pro meta and stuff, sometimes like when you play against a team where they have, let's say, a Stewie or something, like you're on the CT side, you're playing B, you're anchoring him, and you've got Stewie coming at you in B apartments every round, trying to harass you, throw nades at you, trying to
victimize you, Dan.
Absolutely, and so that in of itself, that becomes like a problem sometimes, because then if he bullies loads of control away from you in those positions, then you have to expend more resources towards defending that, because it becomes a weakness on the map, and things get very difficult. So it is interesting. I'm very curious where he'll play on the CT side. Very curious indeed. I mean, it has to be B, right? But we're not going to find out until the second half. Never mind. Here we go. Faze won the first map. If you are just joining us here, the StarSeries I-League CSGO Season 7 Finals.
Oh, throw it.
A B-Rush.
Drop it. Oh, the poison apple. The HE in the window. This looks like a pistol round for Payne. PKL is the only person to take any damage at this point, which would mean a lot of helmet upgrades. He's the only person, well, Big Zero doesn't have armor either. So let's see how this one finishes off. So there'll be I think three CTs actually. Tatterzin probably just got headshot and didn't take any Kevlar damage. So, okay, no, Tatterzin had to buy full armor again. But 2 players will get the cheap upgrades, the $350, and that makes a hell of a difference, because it means that you can buy an M4 in most cases. Landon's opted for a Scout anyway. I think maybe an M4 could have been collected and dropped to a teammate, but his choice, going to the window with the Scouts, because the next round he may need to dispose of that. So I think the M4A4 might have been a better idea, and mistakes have been made, Dan. Pulling out a smoke grenade, exposed to the players charging through. I don't think he realized they were by Tetris, and I don't know what's going on. Almost entirely Glock frags in the second round eco. And it's the Scout that's left. The Scout that could have been an M4A4 is left to try and clutch it 1 versus 3. And he will get absolutely blasted. And that's not a good sign in round number 2.
So I forget who it was, but there was a UMP really close to Pit. And I think they just swarmed him and he missed all of his shots. Or you only need to get the headshot there. And that's where things really started to snowball. Damn, you don't often see that one come out
that's really weird.
So well for the T side, but it does. And we were getting ahead of ourselves talking about the good stuff for Payne, but they get crushed. So
yeah, I'm not a fan of the Scout buy.
Oh,
okay, never mind.
What?
There's no time to talk about that because Landon's trying to bring it back. Of course, this is a forced buy from Payne as well. Back and forth we go. Those weapons might be disposed of. Yanko could probably get an upgrade. He is moving towards that mid position with the Scout, and there comes out the AK. So this can still be rescued by FaZe Clan, but it's hard to have presence in a mid position in a 3 versus 5 when you're the guys with the guns, because you just don't have the personnel. If you will go mid to cover all the different angles, then the CTs can push through B or A, go Palace, etc. So you kind of need to just brute force a site from one direction. And Payne can take a gamble with a 5 versus 3 and send someone aggressive somewhere to try and get some info.
I think in spots like this, it's really difficult because you kind of want to contact it. Obviously, they have the time to wait here to see if there's a CT push. And in reality, Payne should be pushing something because if they can get all the bodies in one place, that would be really powerful. It's a good risk to take, and that is a better angle for Nico. Just simply stepping too far there into that one landing. And 2 quick kills there. Janko getting the next one, and only 3 remaining now for Pain. Still opportunity though. The 1Deeks are dangerous, ever dangerous. Meat shots coming in there from PKL as Nico tries to take over. Good position towards CT now. Janko in the 1 versus 1. Can he find it? 1 bullet left. He's got to go for a reload here. Oh my days. He's going to get caught by the Deagle. And they will convert off of the back of those 2 1Deeks from middle. It's very rare that you see those. Landon has been on Inferno as well. He looked very promising.
Yeah, that was a unique situation which they created for themselves and managed to convert. I should say that I think if you are able to buy a scout and you have enough money, if you win the round and don't die, to buy an AWP in the next round, then it's all good in the hood.
This is madness. We get both teams buying orcs.
Yeah, how about this for a situation? Not what you would see with the old economy, I'm pretty sure. Bittencourt, it's a very unusual name, especially in that region of the world. Going for a timing pick, trying to catch players strafing into the top mid position behind the boxes. We have a peak which will go probably towards Tolbooth and so on. Got to be careful about your timing though. If you're going to outstay his welcome, he will leg land in. Nice reaction there from Nico, but of course he took some damage as well. Double leg maybe. 4 players in the mid position for FaZe Clan of a lurker towards Palace. Looking for something. Or FaZe are unfamiliar with the setups of Pain. The PKL, risky business to drop a peak like this, especially without real control of connector. This could get really weird really quickly, arguably for both teams.
They go into the bomb site. Larson smartly just falls back. He knows triple is way too exposed with the T's coming in. Does leave his teammate though towards T-Pit alone, but there he goes. Back in again for the challenges and can't get the damage they need. And nice from FaZe. You know, they took the map control and they just had good coordination, and there was nothing really from Pain to kind of stop it in its tracks. No AWPs, no way to catch the players as they were moving into position onto the A site. And Pain will try to save this.
That looks really awkward on the A site for Pain to have a player on ramp. Even though there was a smoke down on connector, it didn't feel like they really had control of the situation. They threw a Molotov, but it was it seemed like a really ropey spot for them. And to be in a situation like that so early, I think is a good look for FaZe Clan anyway. BO3 being hunted on the B bomb site. Running out of places to hide, but he seems to have juked Olofmeister at the very least, and he will hold on to the AUG. So that's something, but there is nothing behind it in terms of money for Pain. Now let's see if FaZe Clan can get those consecutive rounds. A very bumpy start for both sides, but maybe things will smooth out for FaZe Clan at the very least. Very well equipped in a round such as this. Nico on the AWP for the time being. Janko with an AK. Must be great fun for Janko.
Playing some CS, always a good way to spend some time. Landon looking to be annoying, but this time with a CZ, not a Deagle. And there's a trade coming in from the Deagle of Farston. Farston will get an upgrade to an AK, and it's looking kind of scary. Nice nade coming in, doing some chunky damage to Rain and Adren. This needs to go well. They have to find fast headshots here. There's 4 CTs already in position. The flashbang comes in. The AK's unleashed. Taking Adren more. Peeking into Nico. I love how they swapped out Nico there with the AWP. It's a good response.
So the player in Sandwich, you see under the bricks of Tetris, you can double scope in, and in most positions he could stand, you would see his foot. If he's right in the corner, there's a slight elevation where you wouldn't see his foot. But anywhere else he stands, you could shoot his foot as well through that gap. FYI. Now we've got the AK of PKL causing damage. Again, just when you thought it was safe to stabilize, Nico is left alone. Scoping, looking towards default. Again, that sandwich position can likely peek first. Maybe he was hoping that the flash would collide with a player should they be there. There is a player there though, which maybe will catch him off guard. The CT's unable to trade this frag. Switching out from AK-47, he's got 20 seconds. I think he thinks Sandwich is clear. Doesn't quite get the kill, but Nico is just too good. This is ridiculous, a 4K from him. That AWP was there if he wanted it. I thought he was done for, but there's just too much skill on every player of Faze.
He's so incredible. It's one of the cool things about Nico is it looks like he's playing like in his eyes Counter-Strike goes at slow motion. Every bullet is connecting for Nico. It's just so beautiful there. Doesn't stay on that sandwich player for a millisecond too long. Pulls off to get the headshot, and the next guy who peeks him to come back to finish the final player. It's just incredible. It's just really incredible. Nico might be the only player that can do this kind of stuff that he can do.
Well, Olaf did it on the Inferno. Let's not forget that.
But the way that Nico does it, James, it's just different. There's just something different about watching Nico to everybody else. It's really special. Kind of like when you watch Shocks as well. Missing the Shocks error. And when you come back, James? Come back to top flight Counter-Strike.
Time will tell. Passage of time, Dan. Pain have made their own passage through the T sides of A. One has been taken out in T spawn, but there is another towards that Palace position. Adrenaline Nico cleaning up again. These anti-ecos, anti-force buys may be more painful than one might expect, than they need to be. Faze Clan now can collect the bomb and make their way towards the B bomb site, which has been cleared. And in towards Palace, miles away from anything. Hofmeister, that connected position that I spoke about some time ago, about that very player. 20 seconds, bomb being planted for the short position. And we'll see what Payne chooses to do. Yanko was lurking with a Mac-10, looking to make some money. He's picked up the dropped AK-47 now. And Payne may just try to rescue a weapon or something. They're not really giving anything up. They want to give the money, I guess, to Faze Clan. Creeping on the A side. And maybe they're using this time as a tactical timeout to talk about how they can turn things back into their favor.
Been a bumpy road for Faze, just due to the fact that Payne have had some crazy individual performances to make that. So I think those two Deagle shots were really disruptive. Back on the buy again. No AWP though for Payne, and that might be a problem. It's been interesting to see Nico picking up the AWP on the T side of Mirage. It's something where it can actually be difficult to find spots for it sometimes, but I think it's actually underutilized sometimes as well. It's so good as a contact for contact in certain spots. When you have extremely good AWPers, they can get a lot of mileage out of it. They're already 11 for 2. Austin in that shadow position. Flashbang is just perfect. Nothing he can do against that one. Nico will find the kill. Or Rainsbury will find the kill off Nico's flashbang. They are really stuck here behind these smokes, Payne. They have no utility to retake with. That's a problem as well.
Outmaneuvered Payne. Seems that second frag will be the round. Landon lurking on A though, so I don't know if he's hiding in plain sight or what his mission is. There's no money for Payne. The other two have gone far away. And it will be round number 5 for Faze Clan. So I want to say it's looking comfortable for Faze Clan. I feel like the anti-ecos have been weirdly difficult. I think there are some unique situations like the 2 1Ds in that particular round, which made things harder, but seems the buy rounds are easier than than otherwise.
Yeah, I mean there's the pistol round and the and that round, yeah, that's right. All Payne have won. Do they have an AWP on the ground? Oh, okay, there we go. It's a Would have been nice to see an AWP in this round for Pain, but they'll have to settle with this. That's the smoke that Astralis will be using a lot. It's that deep mid smoke. Really powerful. The team is going for late mid takes because you can just get position here where PKL is or wherever you want up top mid. Are they not checking this with that smoke? Seriously? Oh my god, it's done so much damage. That seems like you got to check that surely when you see that smoke.
Well, it's better it happens at 5-2 than 15-12 or something like that. Learn the lesson now while there is still time to recover should you lose the round. Nice jiggle peek from Olofmeister. Get some information, knows that the A site is not safe just yet. But a bomb is exposed in the middle of mid and Adren's here on his own. So he's showing some presence and maybe Faze are trying to converge on it with some flanking positions. Nico attempting it on B. That's not going to quite work out for him. Big Uzira has taken a lot of damage, but again, that bomb is still down. The smoke that was thrown earlier will come and go. Nico, that's a nice jump peek spot, but he's got so many angles to deal with. And there are 2 players in the market to deal with him, even though the bomb was in mid, and now the bomb's been taken. So they're focusing on Nico without the bomb rather than the bomb itself. Either way, it hasn't quite worked out for them. They don't have position on B. They haven't dealt with Nico, and they don't have the bomb anymore. So Pain may be in some pain.
Yeah, everyone is low except for Fasten. All the remaining players really weak. Nico has the AWP though. That's critically important. It's so strong when you've got low HP still. That one shot. He's so fast as well. Holding the right positions. Oh, finds another kill. Nico's having a really solid Mirage so far. 13 for 2.
I think
all
it's
the
just
kills.
2 different levels of teams here. They got a 2-man spray down in mid. They had the bomb in mid. Of the 3 players, they sent 2 to B, where Nico was. Maybe, I don't know if it's nerves or what. I mean, it's still difficult for in a 3v3 to defend or try and take the bomb in that middle position, especially when people are trying to flank. So, difficult spot, ironically, for both teams. But it's FaZe Clan who weather the storm again. And there have been many storms in these 8 rounds that we've seen so far. But again, the experience of the higher ranked team is prevailing, and the skill of the individual players combined with that experience, which is part of the skill, of course, with game sense and so on. Indeed, Nico is having a great time. So we have a technical pause. Here are the scores on the doors. 13 kills, 1 assist, Nico. You can see the money as well, which is pretty cool. So we'll see what Pain choose to do. Now, yeah, that was really weird that FaZe didn't check around the boxes after that smoke, but maybe they just don't expect people to be there at the level that they're normally playing against. So perhaps against your normal tier teams, we'll take some things for granted. But again, even in situations like that, they seem to manage to come out on top. So I don't think they'll be terribly concerned. And again, I do think it is a dirty win is a win.
Yeah. It might have been as well because I think Yanko was maybe the first guy out. Maybe I think Adren was behind him. Maybe it's like that. Oh, you know, you expect the first guy to check it. If you're the second guy, you don't check it because it's the first guy who got past and he's fine. That's usually like how the logic ends up working out sometimes. But either way, as you say, it's a blip. It's an anomaly.
Yeah, we don't expect this to be pretty for FaZe Clan, whether they win or lose. That's for sure. So you're not playing with your full roster. Some stuff's going to get weird. Another smoke in the choke point. FaZe with a different approach this time. No mid presence. Now, what does this mean for Pain? They see some grenades streaming into the A-bomb site. That molly towards Tetris is really important. Should FaZe go through the smoke, they can't really have any cover from Tetris. Mollies everywhere. 4 mollies around, and they wait for that molly to come and go, and they start to move into the site. There is a play default. He gets wrecked immediately. We've got 1 player in sandwich. Goodbye, PKL. And I think it was Landon who was around that bench position. Oh, he's pulled his knife out, running out of bullets. There's a player on short who takes Yanko out. Landon still alive around jungle, and suddenly things turn around. 3 versus 2 in favor of Pain as the bomb gets planted, or maybe not. Nico with a bait pulls Landon out and frags him.
Yeah, you got Nico and Olofmeister left to deal with. That's always going to be a tough one. Their HP is so low, and against Nico it doesn't matter, but Olaf Meister's got an AK, so that will make life a bit more difficult. They've got retake utility, Molotov, Smoke, Flash, HE, so that can be used to great effect, but how do they separate Olaf and Nico? Well, that's a great first frag from Nico. He is just pre-aiming is godlike. Oh my god, he's 16 for 2, James, after 9 rounds played. That's almost 2 kills every single round.
Skill disparity is what it says to me, which is to their advantage for sure.
Does that means he must be somewhere near like 180 ADR or something like that right now. Oh, it's so beautiful. The fact that when he peeks out and stops, it's like he doesn't even have to aim. He's just already just on them. It's just has to click.
Yep.
It's beautiful. Beautiful to witness.
No one deeks to land in this time. Nico at the position already. Janko with some different angles. You can spray through the lip of that balcony. So if somebody's standing by the barrel, you can pre-fire them if you're not concerned about revealing your position. Janko trying to do his best Nico impression. He will be taken out, but he is entertaining towards the B-bomb site. A weapon will be collected, but the A site has been taken in the meantime, so they shouldn't be too concerned. Nico loving life with the AWP at present, and Tatterzin has an AK-47 to try and save. So another round in the bag for FaZe Clan. Again, a frag here, a frag there. They won't be too concerned as long as they continue to rack in the Ws. They've all left the bomb on the A bomb site. Tatterzin doesn't have a defuse kit. I think he is trying to hide in plain sight. That was worrisome for sure. No respect play from Rain. And now he has managed to hide in plain sight. Maybe he's looking for an AWP or something, but he hasn't quite found one. Ooh, he's going to find one now though, isn't he? Oh!
Oh my god. 19 for 2. Mika's closing in on that 200 ADR. Oh my god. Oh my god. You just, you know, when you see stuff like this, you just basically want to see Nico AWPing all the time. Just all the time. But Guardian needs something to do, so that can't be the case. So, deep smoke again. I'm sure they'll check it this time, they do. However, my god, so it doesn't matter. It seems because they're going to lose Janko again. But if you're going to lose someone early rounds, you know, you want your coach to go down. You could choose, so this worked out perfectly, although your Adrenaline will go down as well. Nico's been eliminated by Big Zera as well, so now 2 versus 5 for FaZe. I don't even know how, look, where are these kills coming from? Another kill, I think, I'm not sure if that was through the smoke or if that was anticipation or if he...
Just a timing thing.
That's a timing thing as well. Oh no.
Oh, here we go. The bomb's in T-spawn. There's a fair chance that the CTs have no idea. As far as Olaf Meister is concerned, he had the right angle. The crosshair was in a good place, but Big Zera was quicker on the trigger finger, holding the angle already. And there is a much-needed 3rd round from Pain. I think that's the first buy round they've actually won. And the frags just came in thick and fast, one after another. Dominoes rolling their way. Let's have a look at this. There's the first frag through the smoke. Always got to be afraid. And that's why you don't throw that smoke as a T player, for those of you at home, because too many people do that. You want to smoke the top side so you can take connector rather than be at the mercy of the CT in connector. Of course, that was a smoke from Pain into a Molotov, which allowed that situation to happen in the first place. I think Pain maybe were going for another play top mid. There was a failed smoke somewhere up there. Can't imagine that was thrown by FaZe to go behind the boxes, but you never know. That's in jump spotting, and now we will see the stream of grenades flying his way. That smoke dropped like that allows CTs to rotate through the market door position and hold on to the bench spot as well. Lovely shot there from Tatterzin. Big Zero with another frag, and now he's got FaZe Clan member stuck on the balcony. USP to finish him off. He needs to reload. His teammate takes a bullet for the president. There goes the bomb, and it's a Dren versus 3, but where is he? Through the flash, he'd reveal his position. The smokes are gone. Patterson looks towards short, but he may have not seen Adren move up. Spotted him now. And Landin will finish him off. So that's a standard response. Team Liquid used to do that as well. Just drop that smoke in. Again, keeps the door open. Unless someone stands on the van, then it's a problem. But it's better than not having the smoke for sure.
It's going to be interesting to see if Pain can get any more rounds in this first half, because you do expect that if they are able to get, you know, a comfortable 5 to 6 on the board, which is still more than enough space for, especially with the economy as it is, that they can definitely get something going on that T side. And again, we don't know how the CT side dynamic will work for Faze just yet. Faze had a much easier time on Inferno on the T side. Nico's been bailing them out a bit on this half as well, we can't forget. So late into control from Faze perhaps. Later still now due to that Molly. Pain have 2 players playing pit at the moment, which is quite cool to see. Beginning to feel that pressure towards Banana, towards B as well from the apartments. Olofmeister with the AWP here. It's a great place to use an AWP. Oh, nice shot.
That's very nice. That's not an easy shot to hit. On a flick as well. You see the top half of somebody's head. He scalped him. And there's a bunch of unanswered frags for Pain. They're starting to get a reasonable score on the CT side. We don't know what to expect from them on the T side. Very cheeky look towards mid, spotting maybe both players there. With the bomb in tow, no less. 30 seconds for FaZe Clan, 2 versus 5, and maybe they hold on to what they have. I'm back.
Yes, it's a really difficult spot to even survive. I mean, the CTs could try to go aggressive, but their money is not in the best place ever, so they want to keep the integrity of their financial situation. Now Faze go back to the drawing board. I wonder if they'll try to just burst through the top mid smoke, or how they'll play that. One of the things about that smoke as well is that it stops you, if you have a good spawn, from actually taking that timing peak against the CTs in the window. If you know, that's the case that you can't quite get the smoke fast enough to deny that sometimes, if you're going for the fastest timing as possible. I think that's like why that smoke is so good, because it gets there so quick.
Through that gap, you can throw some grenades into the palace position, smokes, flashes, whatever else. Any grenade you like. That's us in with the right angle in apartments. There is the pop flash smoke. A molly at the same time. That says to me that the communication isn't on point for Pain.
Yeah.
The molly is a bit random in that spot. Just dissipated molly towards Palace. Rather throw a flashbang and have a peek instead. Or a smoke, but there we go. 1 minute on the clock.
He's looking to go contact into the A site. That could actually be pretty powerful. The issue is that this orb, that's really what blows up the contact play. So I don't know how they deal with this orb.
Baited!
Unless Olofmeister's in position to do that. He is on the pit position, but he has to somehow be quicker than Landin. So here it is. Oh, beautiful. They use a player to jump to bait. That's just so perfect. Amazing stuff coming in from FaZe. Beautiful entry kills. And all of a sudden it's falling apart rapidly here for Pain as they try to make this retake somehow work, but it's just not at this point. And Allison does find an angle onto Yanko, but nice 90-degree turn there as he picks up the orb.
That had to be a kill. It really did. And it does make me wonder if it's a case of nerves. Bigger 0 and a 1 versus 3. Does he go for this? He does, but Yanko delivers a kill. It's his turn with the AWP. A wry smile. Nice headshot from him as we move into the last round of the first half.
And Nico getting a break from all the lifting he's been doing recently. Still a pretty enormous score for the first half. 22 kills. Not bad at all. Doubles coming in from Landon and Big Zera there on to Pain for the last round of the first half. And oh dear, Nico's gone down straight away in mids. And that might be the cue to just go into A here, because the aggression in the middle means that the A defense surely is a bit lighter. But no, 2 players still here to do the damage. Fastin just has to delay from this position. Flashbang comes in from a teammate, now down to Yanko. And that was just beautifully executed from Pain. They pick up a 6th round on the first half. That really does give them a fighting chance, more than just a fighting chance in this second half that's coming up.
Yeah, I think it was kept relatively simple by FaZe Clan. There were few rounds where they went out mid quickly, and there were a flurry of kills in favor of Pain. Let's not forget, Pain started with 2 difficult rounds. One, I would say, on pistols of some description. By that I mean eco or force buy, but they won some buy rounds. But when they won a buy round, again, it was very quickly, definitely a brief war of attrition. So 6 rounds on the board. Let's see what kind of T side they have. If they have some executes that could take FaZe Clan by surprise. From what we saw in the first half, I think the sheer level of skill on FaZe Clan is the biggest problem. So executes or not, when it comes to shooting people in the face, FaZe Clan seem to be a lot better at doing that. Even Yanko delivering the odd kill with the AWP in the face. As I like to say to Guardian, why always the face? We'll see if it continues for FaZe on the CT half. First comes the pistol. I'm looking forward to the buys. We see some grenades lined up towards the A sites here on the pistol for Pain. That's a good sign early. Towards jungle and connector. And that would tell me that they're probably going to try to push the CT area. They have 2 flashes, but they seem to be focusing actually. They're going through the smokes towards jungle. It seems so. Nico's probably got the sound cues. Rain has quite a nice angle. If they go too far, Pain, in that spot, then they could be in trouble. Rain having a look. They seem to be just tunnel vision focusing on the window position, but it might just work out for them.
Yeah, those were really awkward shots for Rain to have to make through the vent there. And Dren will now try to get himself up on top of the ticket. Good vantage point here. Actually doesn't look too bad here. CT's all together, but they are getting traded, and that's not going to work out for them. Just Dren now. 1 versus 3. We've seen some crazy USP work from him, but not in this case. Pain pick it up. They've been good at picking up pistols, I have to say, and this will be no different. However, FaZe have also been good at winning the following round. Eco or Force Buy. So what do we see here? Force Buy from them. And what do we have? Deagle, CZ, Scout. Usual kind of stuff you'd expect. Pain, got to be cautious here. Who is that at the window? Rain with the Deagle. Smoked off though. That was close, actually. Looked really close.
Bathing the hairs from 2 ears. Oh! He just had too much warm-up on the first half, man. Oh, he's going towards A now as well. There are more frags to be had, and there's another one for Nico. Nico, is he going to ace with a scout? Is he going to ace with a scout, Dan? He was so close! Oh my god, that was fun. Jesus, show me his face, man. He's got to be smiling. That was absolutely ridiculous. If he aced with a scout on a force buy, oh, that would have just been, I don't know.
It was so fast as well. Just all headshots, just raining in all over the place. Wow. You can't touch him. This is what I'm saying, man. He can just do stuff no one else can do.
It's just a highlight reel for Nico.
The first kill was ridiculous because of how close the player was to him as well when he scopes in. I don't think he has any idea how close that player is. I'm telling you, this game moves in slow motion for Nico. What even is that?
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know. I want to see more of it, though. They've only got 10 rounds phase. There's plenty of opportunity for more carnage. That is wallbangable where that CT was jumping, by the way. I'd never seen it successfully land in a pro match, but for an attempt from Pain. Came a little late, though. But yeah, there's a table support, and if you look down towards the underpass area, where you stand on that table support, you can shoot that through the wall from top mid. Well, Nico's been, he's died. He can be fragged.
Died of death. That's the crazy thing about Nico sometimes. You just see the ceiling, like all close to what his ceiling is.
There is no ceiling, Dan. There's no ceiling. There's just space infinite space.
And you see it sometimes. It's just like impossible for anyone to touch it. But you don't see it all the time. Keeps us guessing. This is getting a bit awkward here for Faze. They've lost connector, and Nelson strings through, almost catching them moving forwards. Adrena, it's a good peek. MP9 doing some good work there as well in the middle, and the trades come through. Looking pretty good and under control now for Olofmeister and Rain to finish things off. Fastin on a mere 14 HP. Ooh, timing was fairly good there from Fastin, but he will be eliminated in the end. So, 26 for 9, Nico, as he's only got $3,300 here. Yes, I was hoping this would be the replay.
Ooh, rated 18. Boy.
Wow.
It's just
Oh, he was so close that last one, man.
Why you got a no-scope, man? Just have the patience. Have the faith, Nico. It's like Pulp Fiction. Those bullets aren't going to hit you, baby. Nothing but pistols for Pain. That's the one flashbang bursting onto the A-bomb sides, and they're lining up around Tetra's position. Faze clan will force them into awkward shapes. Around Tetris they will remain. That's a nice brief eco run, the kind of eco run we like to see. And now Pain are back in a buy situation. But Faze clan are 4 rounds away from victory, and victory looks likely, Dan. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah. It's definitely looking likely. I'm just still thinking about those scout kills, dude. That was just such a sick sequence. It was so fast. So fast. I'm gonna find the clip later and just watch it. Just watch that.
Yep.
Watch it over and over again. Oh, nice entries coming in there from Pain as they push towards T steps. However, there's an enormous gap for Rain to play with there, and they're gonna fall back. And considering that Nico is sitting in a the palace position with an AWP, they know everything they need to know. And Olofmeister is deep up top mid. What on earth is going on with these positions? Bomb is starting to rotate towards the B side of the map. This is very interesting. Considering Nico's position, they can just leave A completely up to Nico. But if Nico goes aggressive, will he find the bomb? No. Okay, he won't. Okay, Landon's too far down.
Look at the angles they're holding. They're expecting a push, in fairness.
There we go.
But they still can't do anything about it. Nico rotating back to the site. There is a player on the ramp, but again, he will assume nothing. Knows that somebody could be there. Great presence of mind. He's even got the Molotov. He's even got the Molly, but he won't be able to get the frag. There is a rotation, though. He's bought enough time, but it's only one player. I say only. One play's been quite enough for Faze in plenty of these rounds. Does he know to bite off Molotov, though? Probably doesn't. And if he did, he could stop this plant down. So this is a complete disaster.
Well, we'll see if he can do it with the AK-47. It is Rain after all. Ooh, that was very close. There it is. Easy finish there for the MP9. Rain moving forwards. He's been really good today so far. It's on him, really. Yanko's weak, only got an MP9 as well. Good flashes, actually. That's going to completely destroy Big Azera. Now that's down to Fastin. Oh, there you go. Those are the headshots. Nice teamwork between Rain and Yanko to finish things off. 13 rounds now for Faze. Wait, did I miscount? 12 rounds for Faze. 13 rounds. No, I was right. Okay, why did I doubt myself? And 7 for Pain.
All right, I'm pretty sure this is a tactical timeout. What do you do with your money? People like PKL could buy Kevlar or armor, AK, and nothing else. 27 for 10, Nico. It's been great to watch the frags from Nico.
Yeah, there's just something about it. It's just always so cinematic. He manages to just execute people. The scout round though, he's actually generated a lot of highlights today.
Yeah.
The scout one though, that's got to be number one. Surely.
What is that like to watch as a teammate? I do wonder.
That's what I was thinking that earlier. I was just like, imagine you've died, you look to your left or your right, and Nico's just sitting there bodying people. It's like, well, it's like it's got to feel pretty good.
Absolute madness. The Pain have indeed gone for the buy. forcing up the big weapons. How do they get past this initial choke point towards B? Well, as you can see, it's Faze's turn to go for a bait setup. Janko deploying some grenades. Olofmeister letting some go past. Janko has fallen to the flames. And he's really running this as long as possible, Janko. But his teammates are dying on the rotation. How long does he wait for? Oh, he hasn't quite hit the mark on the player in apartments. So he's really played it a bit too long there. I think once he had 2 plays in his crosshairs, take him out. If you find 2, fantastic. But his teammates have been lost in the meantime, putting Rain in a 1 versus 3. Payne have no idea where Rain is. He knows 1 plays in apartments. He knows that he's in the red. Once the bomb is planted, he knows where 2 of the players are. And at that point, he's got to try and find something to capitalize on.
Ooh. Oh, it's a smoke. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those weird spots where you can look like a genius or you can look very silly. And if you decide to wait a little bit and then a teammate dies, you can think, okay, well, if I just commit now to just waiting and then I can just win the round by myself, get 3 kills. But then he waited, he was doing that, but then another teammate dies, and he's like, oh god, well now I'm really committed.
I saw on the X-ray though that Nico kind of jumped into the site, maybe through the window or something. So I don't know if the communication wasn't clear enough, or what the situation was, because I'm sure he was coming where all the players were going. But that's a lot of players to keep track of. And either way, Payne have their 8th round. Now we have a force buy from Faze Clan, Nico on AWP, Adren on a Mag 7. Double Mag 7. Mag 7 was so rare. It became so rare probably because of the cost versus something like MP9. It just wasn't really there for it, but now it's $1,300. Here it is again. Remember, we used to see when Zeus was playing for. Oh, never mind. There's no time to talk about it. They're charging into the B bomb site. Oh, Janko, he's messed up the flashbang, but he's still got his angle with the Mag 7. No one's checking for him just yet. Olofmeister trying to distract him with 2 frags. And has he been activated? Yep, there it is. Meat shots taking him to the butcher, switching out for the USP, and that's going to be enough. Janko trying to finish things off here on the B bomb site. And Molotov to buy some space, and that might get him a reload if he needs one. So we've got Fast In versus 3. And there is Nico with the AWP.
That was funny. I think Janko like tried to after he got the first kill, I think he tried to like throw the mag away to pick up something, but then he couldn't pick it up because it was like I don't know where it was. And then had to like go stuck on the USP instead of the Mag 7, but still gets the kill. That's very funny. Works out indeed. 14-8. And this is looking pretty desperate now for Payne. I like the idea of mixing things up and going for that really fast set piece onto the B bomb side, but oh, they're doing it. Are they doing it again?
I respect it because I think they understand that this is essentially a mismatch. The longer the rounds play out for, the more disadvantaged they're at versus the more experienced and stronger players. So keep it simple. Try brute force and see how that works out for you. Simply overwhelm with numbers and trade frag. And since they're on the T side, they are afforded that liberty. But FaZe Clan are still saying no.
Yeah, still looking really good here. Rain pushing in the middle of the site. Finds himself a quick one. And might just be another one as well. Oh, he can't stand there for much longer. Beautiful placement for the incendiary there. Always just stuck by the van. This is a horrendous position to be in. They could try to knife him if they really wanted at this point, but they're going to do it clean and easy. 14-8, soon now 15-8 as the defuse comes in. Faze 1 around from taking down Payne Gaming. And perhaps they're targeting Janko as well. That could be a also.
Possibly.
And you know, but at that point, you could just say, well, Nico, you got an AWP. Let's boost you into the apartments. And that's just a good way to deal with something like that.
Does he know the right boost though? On the corner of the balcony, the close corner. Well then, it is match point for FaZe Clan. I respect what Payne have been trying to do. Now they've got 2 players in that middle position, and Rain is having a field day. Does he hear the players on short? I'm not sure if he does. PKL's made his way into the B bomb site and from a different route. Does Janko have any idea? I don't think he does. Surely someone's got to get sound cues. Nico charging in. That's a complete surprise for him. PKL with 2 frags. And okay then, 4 versus 2. We can't count out FaZe in any of these rounds. But this is a pretty strong angle for the Galil. And that should be this round in the bag.
That's so funny because it's just the fact that like they run up catwalk and as FaZe are pushing mid and FaZe have no idea. They had no idea. Nico jumped into 2 guys out of the window, just into 2 guys, had no idea they were there. That is so strange. It's very rare that you see a team on the T side do a fast timing up short like that in the first place. So it's really interesting to see that they picked that up in that way. So we've seen some fun rounds and unusual rounds in this one so far. It's been cool. And there will be another one for Pain. But will it just extend the inevitable? That's the question. Money is actually broken for FaZe, so this is actually somewhat annoying for them. I'm sure they'd like to just close this down. But that's not the reality.
Okay then. Pain have a long way to go. They're all fragging. Again, it's I think it's just a case of experience, skill, and game sense for FaZe Clan. So how do you overcome that and try to take things to a third map? That's the key question here for Pain. They can't go to the B-bomb site every round, but there's no guarantee of success every round. I thought Rain would have heard those players on short. I'm surprised he didn't in that situation. I don't know. I mean, if he was close enough to a flashbang, even if it didn't, well, maybe it would have cut some of his sound out. So I don't know. But again, that's an anomaly of a situation. Have a look at this from FaZe. They've abandoned the B-bomb site and they've gone A and mid, and they've made the right decision. There is Rain with a P250, continues to press forward. He'll take out AWP as well. And this may be a very brief last round, or maybe not. Adren out in the open, trying to find a headshot for PKL. There it is, nice burst from him. Tatters in a 1 versus 2. Nico's only got USP for some reason, and he might just win it with it. Of course he will. Would you expect anything less? 2-0 for FaZe Clan in this first best-of-3 series.
Yeah, and that's